So it's
I think this talk could be about, understanding self, maybe. Understanding self as in not more on the spiritual side or more on, you're going to a workshop to understand yourself. Understanding yourself meaning, first of all, am I okay if I am questioning myself? And I think my answer to that always is, it's okay for me to question myself. It's okay for me to be unhappy in the process. It's okay for me to feel that I've taken on so many obligations that I shouldn't be taking on. And I think, then you arrive at a moment, or whether you want to call it the eureka moment, where you just realize that, my journey so far, or where I am in life, is probably directly or indirectly equal to the decisions that I've taken and the decisions that I've not taken. And and I always say it's not the circumstances that will define you, it's how you react to a circumstances that define you.
Absolutely.
And this is what I think, it's by understanding that there are things that we take it, that is so given, okay, my name is this, so okay, it's given, there's nothing I can do about it. The society is given, there is nothing I can do about it. And for example, is this a conversation that we need to have? For example, a lot of people might say, why are these two guys discussing this? This is completely rubbish. And then they could say, well, you should talk about this, you shouldn't be talking about that, you need to have something else to talk about. But that's perfectly fine, because the idea, or there is no aim or agenda, but if this discussion or if this chat is what there must be some people who might say, this is relevant to what I think. And you don't have to arrive at a destination, because destinations are always many. There are too many. I mean, this is what I say to myself, like, what I do now will have one destination. What I do, if I take an action plan A, it will get me to one destination. If I take an action plan B, it will get me to a destination B. And there is no way of me knowing or telling that A or B is better.
That's true. Yeah. I think questioning self, interesting one, and we talked about unraveling self. So sometimes you don't know, at what stage in your life you are at. Have you got too many layers that you need to peel and find out yourself, or you're choosing the layers carefully going forward? But that's another tricky one. Because at what point do you ask yourself this question? And like you said, if you ask that question based on your previous covers, are you able to choose the next several layers of covers? If you want to go that way. But are we any wiser by asking this question? Because sometimes you just put on cover after cover as you go, and at some point you're thinking, no, do I need more covers, or is this enough? Should I take off a few covers? And I think you may have heard about unlearning. A lot of people now talking about unlearning. So we have consumed a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, and we've been conditioned to do many things. But you reach a certain point and you think, you know what? I need to unlearn. I've gone too far here. I need to go a few steps back. Become raw, real. And then re-engage. So that's a constant process. I think your reference to the journey here makes more sense, because it's not like I've reached a destination and my journey stops. No, it just keeps going.
Going. Exactly.
So most people would look forward to a destination, come to that destination, and then tick a box and say, you know what, I'm looking forward to the next destination. A common example is, people go on holidays, they come back from a holiday, and guess what they do? They book the next holiday. So they live for holidays, one holiday to the other. So they kind of conveniently forget life.
Yeah.
But some people I know go on holidays to plan what they need to do between the holidays.
Yeah.
So, so while you're not on holiday, you're thinking about the holiday. When you're on holiday, you're thinking about the non-holiday period. And life goes on like that. One finds themselves in situations which they're comfortable with. So I think going back to questioning oneself or unraveling oneself, do people always seek happiness, or they just get comfortable in whatever they're doing, and they just kind of hamster in the wheel scenario? We don't know any different, so no problem, just keep going.
Yeah.
And the idea of comparison here is interesting, because then you look at somebody else, you go onto Facebook or in Instagram and think, gosh, I used to go to school with him, and look at him, or whatever, he's got this villa or this car, or he's writing about a job. What did I do? And then suddenly the unhappiness creeps in, because you're comparing, But that's, again, that's an interesting point. One is about the obligation that one takes upon themselves. But another is about coming to a certain point and then looking ahead in the wrong direction. And then unhappiness comes to you, rather than you inviting it. That's sort of a condition. But this is certainly a fascinating subject, and I don't think we'll be able to give clear answers. But sometimes I feel that asking the question itself is the answer.
I mean, look, the way I sometimes deal with it is, let's say when I'm thinking about a subject, or I'm doing a yoga in the morning, when I start to, we talked about unraveling. Now, if you talk, I mean, this is something sometimes I practice, I think most of the time, is, within your own mind, I call it an entity. So let's say the mind is the operating system. And within that operating system, you have a command center. And within the command center, you have the entity that learns to be you or me. And that entity learns to be you and me because of what it has inherited from the society, from the parents and all of that. And it says, this is me. And then it starts to realize, no, it's not really me. And that's what I was saying, when you start to question and then you start to unravel, it's more like an onion. So if you unravel layer by layer and layer and layer, and then you realize, wow, there is nothing else. So, people can kind of put it in a spiritual context and say, well, this is something divine. And I don't find this as a divine. I mean, you unravel one thing, you unravel the second thing, you unravel the third thing, and just like an onion, then there is nothing. The onion is not there. So when you package and wrap things around, just like you were saying, then you become a person. So your complexities, your character, your good and your bad, your stupidity, your good points, all of that together makes you a human being. And if you slowly start to take it all away, to unravel yourself, you think maybe I will become somebody else, and realize you become nothing. You just think, whoa, okay, there is nothing else. There is nothing there.
But then that is what some people call the divine.
Yeah.
Because nothing is divine.
Yeah.
Because people feel that there is nothing after all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is an interesting point. It's like, for instance, when you get into a shower, you clean yourself and then have layers of clothes that you wear. So you kind of doing it for wherever you're going to, and then when you go back into the shower the following morning, you go back to nothing. So you do that every day, and looks like you're probably doing that with your mind every day.
Almost every day.
That's amazing.
Almost every day.
This is exactly what people should do, right? You can put any number of layers of clothes when you visit people, but when you go to the shower, you need to take off your clothes to have a proper shower. Otherwise, you're not going to get a proper shower.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting thing just came to me. And I'm going to use it in future sessions with people. Because, do we do that with the mind, though?
Yeah.
Do we clean our mind?
Yeah, that's what I say. People are going and you get six packs and all of that in the gym. And, we have to set up that mind gym, mind workshop. Because, it's interesting. Mind is an amazing quantum computer given to us for free by nature. And then you don't just have one mind, you have a gut, you have your second mind. And you have the best storage system. A human body stores energy in the most efficient way that you can imagine. And if you could replicate that and learn to store energy that way, I mean, we will progress immensely.
Big time.
So, this is the thing, I would sometimes, close my mind and I say, okay, let go. Let go of this, let go of this person, let go of that, let go of this. Slowly unravel yourself. And I say, okay, this is the problem. But then, some people can call it, oh, this guy is crazy. So you could say, well, this is the entity that has learned to be me. Okay, then I'm saying, you know what, this is not your problem now. You leave it, and you know what happens inside your mind, that the virtual weight that you're carrying, when you start to delete, your mind feels so lighter that you wake up and you think, what did just happen? See, I realize when you are stressed or when you're carrying obligation, the virtual thoughts, that the virtual stress creates a real pressure on your body. And that weight gets kind of really felt by your body. And this is what I think, when you unravel yourself, you feel lighter. And as you said, people feel like, oh my God, is this the divine? I have I'm not carrying any weight.
I think we should put this in a course or a book, that we're talking about it. Imagine you wear a set of clothes today, go to bed, and then next morning you have a shower with the clothes on and wear another set of clothes. Yeah. And the following day you take a shower and wear another set of clothes and keep going. But that's what we've been doing because we haven't really gone back.
Unravel. I mean, imagine.
With the mind that forgets
I always want to go back to the child I was born, like 2 hours or 3 hours or 10 seconds. Imagine if we could capture that mind where you were born and you think nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what people want to go back to.
Exactly.
When people are talking about divine experience and all of that, I think ultimately people want to go back to that particular point when you first arrive on this society as a human being.
Absolutely.
And that thought, that 20-second or that 1 hour, I would wish to go back and say, wow, what is that?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're coming to the 13-minute.
Oh yeah. Let's.
Yeah, I know. This is getting interesting. This is our third video already.
Oh yeah.